Will keto work for me? Okay, we're going to tackle that one today on Two Fit Docs. First of all, keto will work for most people. The big question is, do you have to be keto? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people can be, low carb, which is a wide range, of steps before you get to that keto level. But there are definitely some considerations that we need to talk about with keto.
Right. So we're going to tackle three different considerations: health considerations, behavioral considerations, and some performance considerations when you're deciding, should I go low carb, should I go keto? So health issues, why don't you go ahead and start?
Right, so the first health considerations would be kind of some basics, right? So young children, there's really not enough to say that it's safe. I mean, there was some studies when they were treating kids with epilepsy that some of these children experienced some stunted growth, okay? We don't know if that was actually because of the ketogenic diet or some other factor. But, there should be really no reason for a kid to be, on keto. They can have healthy diets and not be in that range.
Right, they're still very insulin sensitive.
Right. Right. So, I mean, you could, if you're a caring parent, you could just, kind of watch their processed foods and sugars and things like that. Number two, pregnant or nursing women. Again, it's kind of a big question mark. We don't really know. My guess is that it's probably okay, but there's not really anything that says it's okay. So,
right. So, the research for low carb and keto diets is really now just starting to build up. So there's a lot of lag time and different niches that need to be. The research just hasn't been done yet, and pregnant and nursing women would be one of those niches. So there's just not that great evidence.
Right, and for pregnant women, you shouldn't be losing weight, number one. And nursing women typically lose weight because their metabolism is so you probably don't even need to, right? Again, staying away from processed food and sugar, probably a good, healthy idea.
Absolutely.
Another thing is, and we've gotten this question before, if you don't have a gallbladder, if you had a cholecystectomy, the gallbladder is where bile from the liver is kind of concentrated and then squirts it right into the small intestine up there. And that helps with the emulsification of fats that you eat. Well, so here's the thing. Without a gallbladder, your liver still produces bile, although not in the concentrations that you would with a gallbladder. So you can still go on a high-fat, low-carb, or keto type diet. But you may have to modify some of the types of fats that you eat just based on how you respond to them. Again, tracking and kind of seeing how your body responds to those different things, which we recommend to everybody.
And I would throw in hormonal issues. I work with a lot of women in our coaching program who are my age, meaning menopause and beyond, and I guess menopause is the beyond. And I found that that low carb or keto diets work very well for controlling weight after menopause. And I would say the same thing for hypothyroidism, very common issue. And while it can change the game as far as how quickly your body will lose weight, the formula for weight loss does not change. It is bringing those levels of insulin down by bringing your blood sugar down, which results from eating a low carb diet.
Now, we also want to talk about there is some anecdotal evidence for the kidney stones that keto diet might aggravate kidney stones. Again, it's anecdotal, so I don't know if that's true. Again, if you're kind of predisposed to those, track what you're eating, see if you're having any issues with that. You just may have to modify some of the things in your keto diet. And lastly, with health considerations, we want to talk about diabetes, type 1, which you will always need to be taking insulin, and type 2, which the keto diet has been proven in some cases to be able to get off insulin altogether. But you do really need to watch, those levels, your insulin levels, and make sure that is really, really well controlled, because you're going to be changing the input, that's coming into those diseases. So, those are some health considerations. You get some comments too about different things as far as behavioral considerations.
Right. So this is a diet. This is a lifestyle that you have to commit to. We did a video not too long ago on you can't be just a little bit keto,
Yeah.
And what we meant by that video was that if you're having meat and cheese, and then you say, oh, I'm just going to have a little cupcake to add that'll. You're mixing carbs, you're mixing fats. That's not going to be. It's not going to give you the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, and also we encounter people that look at, well, if it's a low carb, high fat diet, well, I'll just make my life out of taking a McDonald's cheeseburger and taking off the bun and just eating those types of lower quality meats. Will that type of a lower quality diet result in weight loss? I would say probably have a good chance. Are you benefiting in the long run as far as your overall health? I would say you're walking a fine line on that one.
Right. You really want to focus on good quality foods. Taking the time to shop and prepare better quality foods.
Yeah.
Some of those things in a pinch, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But some people make a kind of a lifestyle out of that. Yeah. So another one is vegetarianism. Mm-hmm. That's a really, really tough one.
Yeah.
Just the nature of that, vegetables, plant-based, they are carbohydrates. Getting the amount of fat and getting the amount of protein that would put you into that keto range is really, really difficult.
Right. Yeah, and I've tried to put together different meal plans that would be much more plant-based, and it's challenging to reach the keto level where you're looking at 70% of your calories from fat and less than 10% sometimes, from carbohydrates, right. When you are eating a mostly plant-based food. I will say that if you are a vegetarian that allows some types of animal products, like for instance eggs, maybe fish, maybe some types of dairy, you're going to have a much easier time reaching that keto macronutrient breakdown.
Right. It's difficult for us because we really don't have a strong background in vegetarian type of diet. Yeah. So one of the last things is performance considerations. So there's been a lot of studies and research done with athletes, and what they've found is that endurance athletes do quite well with the high level of ketones in the blood, giving them the energy that they need. A little less stringent research and questionable does that translate to more of your high intensity athletes, the guys that are like, going out and very intense for short bursts of time, not so much the endurance. So, and that may be an individual basis as well.
Right.
Some people may do really well and maybe not others.
Right. Right. And so you can adjust the amount of carbohydrates that you're getting. If you are more of more into bodybuilding type of exercises, short bursts of intensity. But those are some considerations. I do feel that keeping carbohydrates low is a good benefit to just about everybody. Yeah. Especially refined carbs, keeping them out of your body. But do you need to go to the level of ketosis? Well, that's really an individual thing based on the considerations, at least that we have presented here. So.
Right. Okay. And we should also give an update.
Oh yeah.
So last week's video, I told everybody that I'm going to try and lose 20 pounds to get down to 155 pounds, which will be quite lean for me, hopefully. So I'm down 1.2 pounds in a week's time, so it's a good start for me. And we'll keep you updated as the weeks go on, and hold my feet to the fire, and I'll get there.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe so you can watch his progress each week, and we will be back soon with another video. Thanks.
See ya.